Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 170. The Fleets Come to Mayberry, part 1. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the fine folks over at WeaversDepartmentStore.com. Drop by over at Weavers, have all kinds of wonderful Mayberry items for sale over there. You can pick up DVDs, CDs, shirts, T-shirts, all kinds of things. Drop by WeaversDepartmentStore.com. You won't be sorry. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you by donations from listeners just like you. The executive producer of Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 170, is Rebecca Spears. Hey, Rebecca, thanks. I appreciate it. Hello, everybody. I'm Allan Newsome, your host for Two Chairs No Waiting, and it is absolutely great to have you with me for our little trip into Mayberry. Well, tonight, the Fleets Come to Mayberry. We're going to start a 3-part series here talking about the Fleets. I don't know if you realize it, but there were at least 3 different Fleets, even though 2 of them were named Bobby. But we're going to start with that first episode where we heard about him. We first met Bobby Fleet on the Andy Griffith Show episode, The Guitar Player. You remember that? You remember that when Jim Lindsay was playing out on the street out there? And, well, let's hear it. We can just hear this. Oh, that boy could play, couldn't he? Did all kinds of sounds out of that
There he is
guitar.
again, Sheriff. Arrest him.
Well, now.
He's disturbing
there's
the peace
Orville.
right in front of my place of business.
Well, now, let's be realistic about that thing. In your business, I don't rightly see who he could be disturbing.
He's disturbing me, that's who. My business requires quiet and dignity. Dignity. You know the law. Town ordinance prohibits him from playing on the street.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Well, then,
Orville, he's right in the middle of a chorus. Now, give him a chance to finish.
Oh, that's extra good there, wasn't it? Well, that was Jim Lindsay, and he was played by James Best. You guys know him as Roscoe B. Coltrane from the Dukes of Hazzard. Of course, if you're an Andy Griffith fan, you know him as Jim Lindsay. He's the guitar player. Of course he is. But this was the first time we met him, and we're going to go in a few minutes and meet Bobby Fleet. Now, when you see some of the close-ups of Jim playing the guitar, turns out Jim Lindsay, actually James Best, can't play the guitar. He told him when they asked him, you know how to play the guitar? He said, I've got 3 guitars. And so they hired him. And then when he got on set, on the studio there, they wanted him to play the guitar. And he said, I can't play the guitar. And they said, you said you had 3, you could play the guitar. He said, no, I said I had 3 guitars. So he couldn't play. So the fellow who played the guitar for him, according to every report that we've heard, it was Herb Ellis. Now, we're not going to talk much about him tonight, but I want you to keep his name in mind as we go through these 3 parts, because we'll be talking more about Herb Ellis later. Now, let's go on in and hear a few more clips here as we got. So, now you remember that Andy, he was out there, and Orville Monroe, the funeral director, didn't like him playing outside the funeral home or funeral parlor, so Andy had to end up arresting Jim Lindsay, and he took him to jail because he was he was playing out on the streets. And let's hear Andy and him with a little bit of a song that they played there in the courthouse. Boy, that Jim can play, can't he?
Riding on that new river train, riding on that new river train, same old train that brought me here to go take me back again. Darling, you can't love one love one. Can't love one and have any fun. Oh, darling, you can't love one.
Wow. And the fun part about this is he's in the jail. He's playing a acoustic guitar.
Sing, Barney.
But those are
Riding
sure
on that new river train.
electric guitar sounds.
Riding on that new river train. Same old train that brought me here, gonna take me home again. One more. Riding on that new river train. Riding on that new river train. Same old train that brought me here, gonna take me back again. Oh, that was good.
Oh, that was good, wasn't it? Aunt B and Andy and everybody clapping for him there in the courthouse. Man, Jim could play. Well, as he went on through, the episode there, you got to see Jim. He played the guitar, and Andy tried to talk him into, if you remember, going out and getting a job. And as a guitar player, he could leave Mayberry and all that stuff. Well, as part of that, now we have another person that we run into here in Mayberry. The next person up that we're going to meet is Talbot. Now, Talbot, he is the postman. He's the postmaster, I guess, there in Mayberry. And Talbot is in the courthouse with Barney, and they're looking at the bulletin board there. That who's been messing up the bulletin board? That bulletin board where Barney is always hanging up his wanted poster. So let's hear this. Barney and Talbot getting a little bit of an argument about wanted posters.
You put that down, Talbot.
All right, hog 'em all yourself.
I've told you 100 times these are state criminals. Now, the post office is only supposed to put up federals.
You know they ain't been sending me none lately. And how's it look for a postmaster to have a half-empty bulletin board?
Talbot, your main business is selling stamps. Now, with you, wanted criminals is just a sideline.
Here I am set up with all kind of poster space, and I ain't got half as many as you.
Now, Talbot, don't go running down that bulletin board of yours. Well, you may not have many posters, but one thing nobody can take away, you got quality. Huh? Well, look at that. What do you see there? Petty thieves, wife beaters. Why, what we got there can't begin to compare with what you got. Train robbers, counterfeiters, smugglers, not to even mention foreign spies.
And them are master criminals.
Yes, sirree. Why, our whole stock of wanteds don't even come close to one of your pretty boy Floyd's.
You know, I never thought of it that way.
Say, Talbot, I want to be fair about this. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll trade you 2 wife beaters for 1 smuggler.
Make it 3.
3?
And throw in one of them moonshiners.
Then you throw in a counterfeit.
No deal.
Oh, go on back to your stamp cage.
And sign up your little tin badge.
Ah, you clerk.
Hey, now. Simmer down there, boys. It's a fine thing when 2 government agencies can't cooperate. I don't know why you both can't look at your bulletin boards with pride and count your blessings.
So that's Talbot. Now, Talbot is played by Dub Taylor. Dub Taylor, he later appeared in episode 94, Mountain Wedding, where Charlene and Dud got married, as the preacher who was marrying Charlene and Dud Wash. And he reprised the role of postman role that he played there in, let's see, I got lost in High Noon in Mayberry. Now, his last appearance on the Andy Griffith Show was as Ben Beachman in season 8 episode Emmett's Brother-in-Law. So he was in that episode. But this was he was a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys remember. I remember him from like the commercials back in the 80s, I guess, as the Hubba Bubba chewing gum commercials. And of course he was in old westerns. He was in all kinds of things like that. Anyway, that was Dub Taylor. So we enjoy having him. Now the next thing we hear is coming around the corner. There they come. That's Bobby Fleet right there coming around the corner. And Andy and them see Bobby Bobby Fleet's truck or car. Well, actually, I think they called it a bus. They see it come around the corner after that, and they start talking about bands and when the last time they'd seen one. So here's a fun little clip that I'd never really paid that much attention to.
Bobby Fleet and his band with the beat. Did you ever hear?
No. No, the only band ever come through here was that one-man band from Altoona, you remember?
Yeah, I remember. Wasn't that the fella that got all mixed up and come darn near popping his eyes out and blowing through the wrong end of a clarinet?
He almost popped his eyes out going through the wrong end of a clarinet. Now, right after that, Bobby Fleet goes over there. Now, this Bobby Fleet, now I didn't tell you who he is. He's played by, in this episode, Henry Slate. Now, Henry was born in 1910 on June 15th in Brooklyn, New York. Now, sadly, he passed away on August 11th, 1996. He's 86 years old when he passed away. But here he is as Bobby Fleet and his band with the beat. He's Bobby Fleet. Now, Mr. Slate appeared, he's only in this one episode of the Andy Griffith Show, but he has a long list of that he was in, movies. I'm not even going to try to list them all. But You're in the Navy Now, The Jazz Singer, Rock Around the Clock, The Shootist, Norma Rae, and a bunch of Disney films like The Cat from Outer Space, Herbie Goes Bananas, Pete's Dragon, The Shaggy D.A., The Strongest Man in the World. He was in a bunch of things like that. And then TV series, he made appearances on Mission Impossible, The Rockford Files, Starsky and Hutch, Barney Miller, Quincy, and Lassie, and a whole bunch of others. So he had a long career in movies and on TV as well. So, but let's hear his comments when we first meet him. You know, he's gone over into the diner. They got out of their bus, their long car, whatever this thing was, and went into the diner that's across the street from the barbershop and stuff that I don't think's ever on any other episode. But let's hear his comments because they're pretty funny.
Thanks, baby doll. Here you are. Never mind, honey. I'll handle this. All right, fellas. Who ordered a clean glass? Honey, could you rustle up a little something like even a menu? We want to be out of here at least by Judgment Day. Here, take your water.
Howdy. You fellas gonna be playing somewhere around town?
Town? Did you hear that, fellas? This is a town.
Yeah, it's the town of Mayberry, and I'm Sheriff Taylor.
Well, glad to know you, Sheriff. Hey, what's on the flip side? If lost, please return to Wyatt Earp.
Yeah, that's pretty good. How long was it you said you was gonna be staying?
I tell you, if we don't get some service soon... Well, here she comes now, the Cannonball Express. Ah, you gorgeous hunk of feminine pulchritude. How would you like to be our new champagne lady?
Say, are you fellas really looking for talent? Because if you are...
Don't tell me. You got somebody. Right here in Mayberry.
Yeah, we have. Jim Lindsay's his name.
Sorry, Hiram. Gotta go. Hey, honey, I'll tell you what. We'll make it easy on you. We'll all have today's special. Okay, fellas? If one goes, we all go. You know something, fellas? You know, if they ever had a beauty contest in this town, nobody would win.
Oh, that hurts. Oh, me. Well, if you'll remember then, right after that, Andy and Barney were outside and they complained and, Barney thought he was a smart aleck and all this kind of stuff. So they came up with a reason why they needed to get Bobby Fleet to hear Jim Lindsay. And so they decided that, normally they could park on the street like that for an hour, but that was for one car. Well, that big long bus they had, that was at least as long as two cars, which means they could only park there for 30 minutes, if you'll remember. Well, then Andy got them arrested, and then they go into this little scene here where Andy's, his robes, they get, the dignity of them gets offended.
Guilty as charged. That'll be $20 or 24 hours in jail.
20 fish for a crummy parking rap.
Well, we try to keep it low for the first offense.
Yeah, and how much of the 20 do you stick in your own kick?
Oh, I wished you hadn't have said that. I mean, I don't mind an insult personally, but, why, you've offended the dignity of my robes. Now, let's see. What is our price for robe dignity offending? Why, that's $50.
$50?
Yeah, plus the 20, that's 70 altogether.
Oh, come on now. Look, Sheriff. There's no reason to get hot under the collar over this. I mean, you've got your job to do, and I've got mine. Now, oh, that reminds me, we're going to be playing in the Capitol over the weekend. Now, how would you and your fine deputy here like to come and see us, huh? I'll see that you have a big time. Oh, and you'll be my guest, of course.
Oh, now you have really done.
What?
Well, you just tried to bribe me, is all. Well, that's the worst thing anybody can do. I hate to tell you what the fine is on that.
Never mind. I don't care what the fine is. I'm not going to pay it.
Oh, you mean you'll take the 24 hours?
That's just what I mean. No hick sheriff is going to bleed me. We'll all stay overnight.
Well, that's the way it'll be then.
So Andy is railroading these guys so that they'll be able to get Jim Lindsay there and so they can hear him. You got to love that. Oh, I wish you hadn't have done that. Because you, and this little clip, we just need to hear this. This is a huge line. I don't know if you guys use it a lot, but I do.
All right, let's move it along. Come on a double there. Come on, let's look sharp. Look sharp. Come on, get in there. And suck in that gut.
Suck in that gut. I use that line all the time. Well, right after that, Opie comes into the courthouse. And when Opie comes in, he's looking for his pa. So let's hear what Opie has to say.
Pa, I'm home from school, Pa. Hi. You seen my pa? He's the sheriff.
You mean he's human enough to have kids?
Huh?
Never mind. He stepped out for a minute.
Oh. Pa must have rounded up a gang. You look like from the city. Are you a criminal?
According to your pa, I am.
Pa's never wrong. What crime did you do, criminal?
I didn't do anything. Your old man framed the whole thing. The hick troublemaker.
What in the world's going
Opie
on?
kicked him.
That kid's a little monster.
He called you a hick troublemaker, so I kicked him.
Okay. He didn't mean it.
I did too.
You push that. You gonna have him not liking us.
What do we want a criminal to like us for?
Well, never mind. You hurry up and go on home now. Hurry up.
So Opie reared back and kicked him. And that's one of I love that line, the hick troublemaker.
The hick troublemaker.
And Opie, I just love I love it when he goes,
What crime did you do, criminal?
what crime did you do, criminal? I gotta love it. Opie, Ron Howard, amazing little actor. Wow. So after that, Andy brings Jim Lindsay back to the to the courthouse, because Barney, they accuse him of trying to get Jim in there just so that that they'd be able to hear him play. So let's hear this quick little clip here, because I love this.
Matter of fact, I'm shocked that anyone would even think that Sheriff Taylor here would stoop so low as to use his high office for anything as sneaky as getting you two in here so's one could hear the other. I'm more than shocked. I'm outraged.
I appreciate them loyal words, Deputy.
Well, I meant 'em, Sheriff. What number are you going to play, Jim?
What number are you going to play, Jim? Oh, I love that. Oh, so then they go on, and Andy, Jim is not he's not gonna play, but Andy's trying to get him to tune up the guitar for him. You remember that? So they finally give him the guitar so that he can get in there. So let's hear that little clip as we go for him, because here's where Andy's trying to get him to tune the guitar for him.
Jim, would you tune this thing for me?
I ain't playing.
Well, I don't want
I
you
ain't
to play.
playing.
Just tune it so I can.
All right, I'll tune it. But from then on, you're on your own.
Okay.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Hey, Sheriff, you know you were right. This kid is dynamite. Hey, fellas, you listening? Come on, kid, keep playing. Oh, no, it can't be. Is that a guitar or is it a harp from heaven? Go ahead, kid, keep looking for what you're looking for. Yeah, go on, keep looking, kid. You got it. It's the key of S. He found it.
So then, let's go ahead and hear the actual music, because this is the good part. Boom, boom. So as he plays, you know, Bobby and all the guys start actually kind of liking it. And he can get more than one guitar sound out of one guitar. Or he can strum and pick at the same time or something. And the drummer is tapping on the bars of the jail cell. You can hear him. So, of course, Bobby Fleet, he enjoyed it so much, he ends up offering to hire Jim, and Jim's going to go with him. And as Bobby Fleet's getting let out of the jail, there at the end when Andy lets him loose and lets him start to leave. And as he goes, he offers Jim the job, and then he says this to Andy. Let's play this little clip here.
Let's go, boys. So long, Sheriff.
Yeah.
Say hello to Tonto.
Say hello to Tonto. And then finally, Andy, the last thing we hear him say is he's telling Jim, you better hurry. He's only got 15 minutes to get to the
He
car.
digs you, so you be nice and dig him back.
So you be nice and dig him back. Wow, folks, that is a great episode. As I was going through it, I was amazed how many little bits were in there that I wanted to talk about. Now, I will talk about real quick. There was a few things that happened on that episode that were stuff I had never noticed before. There's a scene there with at the beginning when Jim Lindsay is in jail with Andy, that there is a calendar on the wall behind Jim, and that calendar is all you can tell for sure is that it's from June. You can tell if you look at it, it's from June of some year. That's all you can tell. You can tell there's a J at the beginning of it, and it's got 30 days, so it's got to be June. So there's a calendar there on the wall. Now, the other thing you'll notice, let's see if I'm trying to show pictures here, is there's also a calendar on the wall behind him as well. So there's two calendars for some reason in that jail cell. So anyway, that's just something I thought you might be interested in. Now, there's a lot said about the lot and stuff there on 40 acres. Well, we get to see at one point when Andy and Barney go over to the diner, that this diner is actually right across the road from the barbershop and the funeral parlor. Now you can see it. I've got some screenshots that you can see if you're watching the video, or you can just watch. that the funeral parlor is right across the road from the diner. Now, that diner, as far as I know, was never used again on an episode. So that was a little bit of an interesting tidbit there. Actor James Best, we've already talked about. He was in 141 episodes of The Dukes of Hazzard. He also directed 3 episodes and was associate producer for Burt Reynolds' movie The End. I didn't know that. And, of course, right now he's got coming out in the near future The Return of the Killer Shrews. So definitely make sure you check that out as well. Now, the only other thing I think I was going to tell you here, there's comments here. If you go to Mayberry.info, that website is the Mayberry Historical Society. And if you go there, there is all kinds of information there about this episode of the Andy Griffith Show and others. It's got information about the writers, the air date, and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things they talk about there is when Jim Lindsay was jamming there at the end with Bobby Fleet and his band, the drummer taps his stick on the bars of the jail cell, and at the end of the number, you can clearly hear acoustic drums being played. And, of course, you can also hear you see him playing an acoustic guitar, but the music we hear is clearly made with an electronic guitar. So head on over to the Mayberry Historical Society, and I think you're going to enjoy that. There's all kinds of information there and things that you should enjoy getting to see and hear. So I believe I've covered everything I was going to cover, and wow, we're heading for a 30-minute episode. Well, the last thing I want to talk to you about is a new thing I'm doing. So if you're ready to go, you can get on out of here. But I'm working on a new website, and it's already there and ready to go. It's called iMayberry Community, and you get to it by going to iMayberryCommunity.com. So it's iMayberry Community, all one long word, and it's the number or the letter I, not number. What we're trying to do there is create a community site where everybody can come in there and visit with one another, and we can get all kinds of Mayberry people in this place. This is going to be a real Mayberry community. We're trying to make Mayberry a real place, at least virtually, online. And so far, we got about 175 members, and that's only in about a week. So we're doing really well, and folks are seeming to start to get into the feel for it and understand a little bit about the community. It's still growing. It's still there. But you can go there and check it out. You can sign up. You have to put in some pictures of yourself and things like that, a picture, a profile picture. And then you can get in there. There's a forum where you can go in there and create discussions and talk about whatever you'd like to. You can respond to discussions there. You can do status updates. You can talk to your friends. You can friend people. It's I think, a lot of fun. And so far, those that have been visiting, I believe they're enjoying it a lot. So drop by iMayberryCommunity.com, and we'll hope to see you there. Now, I'd love to hear from you about this podcast episode or anything else you'd like to talk to me about. I'd love to hear from you. And my email address is floyd@imayberry.com. Another way you can get in touch with me that I prefer, my preferred way of you getting in touch with me, is by calling me at 888-684-8415. You can drop by twochairsnowaiting.com and leave me a message there. That'll work. Or you can drop by our Facebook page. Or now, I guess you can drop by the iMayberry community and leave me messages if you want to sign up there. But our Facebook page is facebook.com/2chairs. You can drop by over there and visit and leave a message for us there. Any way you'd like to get in touch with me, I'd love to hear from you. That's what I'm really wanting to try to grow this year, is the sense of community. So drop by the iMayberry community or anything else to get with me. And folks, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week on Two Chairs No Waiting. Bye, guys.